Units of mass, capacity, and length can be divided as you would divide any other value. Like multiplication, you can divide a measurement by a number, or you can divide a measurement by another measurement. Let's first take a look at dividing a measurement by a number. If you have a number of units, so a measurement, and you are going to divide that by a number value, the units are retained in the quotient. When you divide a measurement by a number, you are essentially dividing the measurement into equal parts. So if we have a problem like 8 meters divided by 2, let's take a look at that. We have 8 meters, so this is our measurement of 8 meters, and in our problem we are asked to divide this measurement by the number 2. So simply divided by 2. And so what we do in a problem like this is we simply take the numbers of 8 divided by 2, and we know that that equals 4. But the important part to remember in these is that you want to make sure that the number here of 8, that the units are retained in your quotient. So when I write my answer, I can't just simply write 4. 8 meters divided by 2 equals 4. That would not be correct. I need to write 8 meters divided by 2 equals 4 meters. So I want to make sure that I retain my units in the quotient. So in a problem like this, 8 meters divided by 2, we are basically dividing a measurement of 8 meters into 2 equal parts. And the result, or our quotient, gives then the size of the divided parts, which in this case we would have 2 4-meter pieces if we took 8 meters and divided into 2 equal parts. Let's take a look at a real-life problem. I have my problem written here on the board behind me. A pitcher of water holding 2.5 liters of water is poured equally into 5 glasses. So you can start to see the setup of our measurement divided by our number in this problem. And then the question that we are asked to solve is how much water is in each glass. And so this problem asks us to divide 2.5 liters of water by 5. So to do this, we are simply going to divide 2.5 divided by 5, and then when we get our answer though, we need to make sure that we put in our units of measure into our answer, or into our quotient. So first let's do the work of dividing 2.5 by 5. So let me set this up. I've got 2.5 divided by 5. So I want to make sure that I put my decimal right up here where it's going to be in the quotient, and I begin my division. So 2 divided by 5 is 0, and I place the 0 here. 0 times 5 is 0. Place my 0 here and subtract that from 2. So 2 minus 0 equals 2. Place my answer 2 there, and then I bring down the 5 from here. And I now have 25 divided by 5. 25 divided by 5 equals 5. And so I place the 5 of that answer right here. And I multiply 5 times 5 equals 25. Place that there. 25 minus 25 equals 0, so I have no remainder, and that tells me that my division problem is finished, and so I have an answer of 0.5. Now I need to be very careful though that when I report this answer and I give my solution of how much water is in each glass, that I don't just simply put 0.5 as my answer. I need to make sure that my answer or my quotient has retained the units of my problem. So the original measurement here that we were dividing into 5 equal parts was 2.5 liters. So I need to make sure that I put over here in my answer that how much water is in each glass? 0.5 liters of water will be found in each glass when I've taken 2.5 liters and divided that into 5 equal glasses. Let's take a look now at what happens when you divide a measurement by a measurement. If a measurement, or a number of units, is divided by another measurement, or a number of units, then the units cancel out and the quotient will be a number value. Keep in mind that this is only possible if both values share the same unit. So both measurements share the same unit of measure. Otherwise, the units will not cancel out. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. Our first one is this. John has 140 grams of sugar. If he gives 70 grams to each of his friends, how many friends would get the sugar? So we can see that this is a simple division problem of 140 divided by 70. But let's write this out and we will see how our grams, our units of measure, are going to cancel because we'll have one in our numerator and one in our denominator. So this is a simple division problem of 140 grams. I'm not just going to write my 140. I'm going to do the 140 grams divided by 70 grams. Well, as you can see, we have grams in the numerator and we have grams in the denominator. And so these two cancel out. Whenever you're dividing a unit of measure or a measurement by another measurement, the units cancel out if they are exactly the same. So we've got grams in the numerator exactly the same as grams in the denominator. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark these out so that we can remember that the units cancel out. And then we're simply left with 140 divided by 70, which we know equals 2. So we can see that the answer to our problem is not going to be 2 grams. We're not measuring our friends in grams. The answer is going to be 2 friends. So let's read through the problem with the answer and we can see how it makes sense. John has 140 grams of sugar. If he gives 70 grams to each of his friends, how many friends would get the sugar? So 140 divided by 70 equals 2 friends. And you can see then that when we have a unit of measure divided by another unit of measure, they cancel out, and our answer then is a whole number.